You're welcome back to the gavel. Now, Senate President Ahmed Lawan says the passage of the production sharing contract, which is expected to generate about $2 billion for the country, and the finance bill, which is also expected to increase the revenue generation of the country, does not stop the federal government from borrowing. According to him, the National Assembly would not only approve the loan request of the president, but also ensure strict oversight to make sure that every cent that is borrowed is tied to a project.
Please, may we remain standing.
It's the Senate President's first major interaction with the media since emerging as President of the 9th Senate.
Thank you very much.
He has invited the press to brief on the achievements of the Senate within the past 6 months. Some members of the Senate leadership, including the minority leader, are in attendance.
So you will come to everything concerning this country from your own perspective. What we all want is that at the end, let Nigeria be better for each and every one of us.
The area we call the White House.
Senate President Ahmed Lawan speaks on the planned renovation of the National Assembly, which has elicited sharp criticism from many Nigerians who say the 37 billion naira proposed for the renovation is extremely wasteful.
We met Mr. President, the Speaker and I, and told him the situation, the condition of the National Assembly complex. Since the takeover of that complex, there was never, ever, any major rehabilitation or renovation. 20 years. Mr. President responded by telling us that he was going to renovate the National Assembly complex. And we went back and continued to engage with the management of the National Assembly, FCDA. Eventually, we took what is required for phase 1 renovation, phase 1. And that is where we are sitting, the domes, both House and Senate, and our committee rooms in the White House, the area we call the White House. That 7 billion naira was sourced and was put under the FCT, not National Assembly. All we require is to have the National Assembly complex renovated.
On whether the National Assembly will approve the president's loan request of $30 billion, Senator Lawan gives a nod.
I didn't say that because we have passed the production sharing contract bill amendment that Nigeria doesn't need to borrow. I can't remember saying anything like that. So it's the same with the finance bill. The question of whether we are going to pass the loan request of the executive arm of government. Yes, if you don't have money and you have projects that after you do them will not only provide the infrastructure that you need but also spend money, nothing will really militate against the passage. But one thing is, we are going to be critical that every cent that is borrowed is tied to a project. That when the project, these are projects that should have spin-over effects on the economy.
The 8th Senate in 2016 rejected a similar loan request from President Buhari for lacking in detail. Senator Lawan, however, says President Buhari has learned his lesson and has provided the necessary details of what the loan will be used for in his new request.
Now let's take a look at more activities which took place during the week in the National Assembly.
Despite having passed the 2020 budget, the House of Representatives Committee on Customs met with the National Pension Commission to review its 2019 budget as part of its oversight function. The committee expressed displeasure with the Director General of the Commission over her alleged refusal to avail the committee with details of the 2019 budget, especially the internally generated revenue.
In one of your responses, you did state that you would not supply this committee with the details of your cash flow analysis as far as the IGR of your organization is concerned. In saying so, don't you think you are placing a statute bar on the activities of this committee?
It's not in my character to look down on constituted authority. It's not in my character to be arrogant because I have nothing to prove. And if for any reason that is the kind of vibe I have given to you, I'm really sorry.
It is best we have a proper review and a proper breakdown of the IGR of 2019 so that some of these issues can actually be harmonized.
We had submitted 2019, we had discussed it severally in writing and verbally, and today we were invited to discuss the 2020 expenditure, not the 2019, and that was why I didn't mention it at all.
I have your document here, and I can read for you. When this committee asks you, request you to furnish the committee with copies of your approval for spending your IGR and cash flow analysis of such purported expenditures. This is what you say in your reply, so that you know in written you have disrespectfully tell the parliament that you are not going to submit those documents. The commission believe that the approval of daily expenditure of appropriated amounts is an executive function which is outside the purview of the National Assembly. There is nothing you will tell the parliament that is as insulting as this statement that I have read.
With the insistence of the DG that she was only asked to make available the 2020 budget breakdown, the chairman of the committee requested that the details of the 2019 budget breakdown be made available at the next sitting. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives is calling for a ban on illegal cooking gas outlets all over the country. The House wants the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, to enforce its rules and guidelines to that effect and also carry out periodic checks on outlets and operators to ensure compliance and discipline errant operators. The resolution of the House followed a motion on the need for operational guidelines to be complied with and licenses obtained before anyone can become a cooking gas skid operator. Representative Kolawole Taiwo, who sponsored the motion, expressed worry that many lives and property worth several millions of naira have been lost due to negligence and carelessness. The House then mandated its Committee on Gas Resources to ensure compliance.
I represent the entire people of Uganda.
And the House of Representatives is pushing for the promotion and standardization of the herbal industry in Nigeria. In moving his motion, Representative Ajibola Murena pointed out that the use of herbal medicine in Africa has greatly elevated and enhanced the primary healthcare system, and it's common knowledge that herbal medicine is one of the oldest forms of medicine in the world. The lawmakers resolved to urge the Federal Ministry of Health to liaise with NAFDAC to promote effective monitoring, evaluation and regulation of herbal medical practice and ensure improved collaboration between traditional practitioners and modern healthcare professionals and researchers.
The House is further aware that owing to the economic downturn, many Nigerians now resort to traditional herbal systems for their primary health care needs. And in other parts of Africa, particularly West Africa, new drugs are not often available, thus making over 60 to 80% of the population to rely on medicinal plants, since herbal products in the form of supplements, herbal teas, extracts, and essential oils are easy to come by and are readily available. The House further notes that there is need to educate traditional practitioners like herbalists, traditional birth attendants, bone setters, diviners, traditional surgeons, spiritualists, etc., in order to regulate and bring their services to an acceptable standard.
Now, this is where we draw the curtains on this week's edition of The Gavel. If you have any views on any of the issues discussed, please email us on thegavel@channelstv.com. Thank you for staying with us and see you again next week.